Hi guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host Clinton Reed. Today this is gonna be more of an impromptu wrap up. I'm gonna bring you just a little bit back. There we go. Little impromptu, like I just woke up, but I wanted to go ahead and put these books back on the shelf, and I just wanted to talk about them. Especially when one of them is a book I borrowed from a friend and I finished it yesterday. So I just wanted to... I'm not the best with wrap-ups, but we shall see. I've got my ratings in front of me and I've got the prompts to the summertime reads. So I can tell you guys what I read for what. I'm gonna go each of the prompts and then we can talk about the books that I read for that. And then I have 2 outside of the 12 prompts. I finished 14 books in the month and I don't think anything got less than a 4-star. So it was a really good reading month. Well, there's one that could have been a little less than a 4-star, but oh well. So let's just go into this and just do this impromptu like reading. So for Continued Pride, I read Check Please Volume 2 or Book 2, Sticks and Stones, which is the continuation. Bless America. Sorry. This was the continuation to Check Please, which is about a boy who is a vlogger, who is a figure skater, who gets a scholarship to play hockey, and he loves to bake. And he's going to school to be a baker or a cook. And that's what his vlogging is about, either the hockey or the baking. And it's queer and it's super cute. And if you have not read it, I highly recommend. This is 5 stars. It made me bawl my eyes out. I loved every second of it. So yes, I read this for Continued Pride. For Summer Job, I buddy read this with my friend Karina on Instagram. We read Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I freaking loved this. This was like one of the best things I've read in a while. I don't know why I took so long to read this series. If you don't know what Renegades is about, it's a world with superheroes and villains. But are those superheroes really superheroes, and are the villains really villains? That's all I'm really gonna go into. That's all I really wanted to know going into it. I flew through this thick boy in like 2-3 days, and I loved every second of it, and I cannot wait to continue. Like, listen, this just, oh my god, was amazing. If you have not read it, I highly recommend. This is probably going to be one of the best books from this month. And I read that for Summer Job, read a book over 400 pages. For prompt number 3, Lazy Days at the Beach, read a beach read. To me, a beach read is either a contemporary or a thriller or something comforting that is an easy read to read at the beach. And for this, I picked up The Night She Disappeared by April Henry. Me and Mel kind of impromptu buddy read this. I finished it before her and then she read it, hers. But this is about a girl who gets kidnapped, but the guy thinks it's supposed to be a different girl. This was very interesting, very short. This was a ride. I really enjoyed it. I will read a lot more April Henry in the future. But when you're looking for a contemporary that, or if you're looking for a thriller that just a pickup, fly through, quick, easy read, I highly recommend this book. It's what it was. It wasn't bad, wasn't good, wasn't anything fantastic. But because I loved the writing style a lot, I gave it a 4-star. And it had me trying to figure out what happened, who did it, are they gonna figure it out? really recommend April Henry, which April Henry we tried to get as our group read. Would have been this, but unfortunately, no. Okay, for prop number 4, get a tan, read something that makes you hot, which you could have done something that makes you hot or something that makes you hot, kind of thing. And for this, I buddy read with my book group from Blood and Books. We are currently buddy reading the Bromance Book Club, and I read Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. This is Alexis and Noah's story. If you don't know what the Bromance Book Club is, it's about a group of guys who read romance novels to get closer to women. I loved this. This was probably my favorite in the series so far, and that's saying a lot because book 2 was amazing. But this had me bawling my eyes out, and I was angry in parts. I was turned on in parts. Like, listen, this book fits this prompt so well. 5 out of 5 stars. Love, 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 love. If you have not read the Bromance Book Club, I highly recommend. I have not laughed this much in a while at a book series, and I cannot wait for book 4, which is the Russian story, which I'm reading in August. I cannot wait. Challenge number 5 is travel abroad and read a book that's set in a country other than your own. And I went with another contemporary romance, which, who am I? I apparently like contemporary romances right now. But I went with book 2 in the Brown Sisters series, and that is Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which follows Danny Brown and Zafir. Yeah, Zafir Anansari. This has fake dating with a bisexual witch main character. I will forever stand on that platform of Danny being one of my favorite female heroines in any romance. She's amazing. This was amazing. And I am hashtag, what do they call it? Dr. Rugby? Is it Dr. Rugby? Yes. Hashtag Dr. Rugby. I am totally team Dr. Rugby. Like, if you have not read The Brown Sisters, I highly recommend. I cannot wait to read Eve Brown, which I'm hoping to get to in September. But I really, really, really love this series. 5 out of 5 stars, if I didn't say that. Challenge number 6 is off to summer camp. Read a book with an outside setting. So this, I went with another thriller, and I read The Lake by Natasha Preston, which is about these 2 girls who, once upon a time, they were campers at a camp called Camp Pine Lake, and then they get invited back to be camp counselors. If you really liked The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, I highly recommend this. It's more of a YA version of that. Not the same twists, though, because I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I'm a huge Natasha Preston fan. I have read 2 of her books now. I need to read at least 1 more to decide if I'm going to read all of her books, because 5 out of 5 stars, that ending blew my mind. Like, I was literally running and was screaming with Sterling, going, you can't do this to me. Like, what? What? Oh, meaning when they come back as camp counselors, something happens in the thing. I don't want to give too much away. Thrillers, I say, really go into it blind. But I really recommend this one. Like, Guys, this was everything. Like, oh. Challenge number 7 was Backyard Barbecue. Read a book with food on the cover or in its name. I originally had Spells Trouble by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I just wasn't in the mood for a fantasy. So I picked up another thriller. And I picked up hashtag Murder Trending because in this girl's hand is an ice cream. This is by Gretchen McNeil. This is book 1 in the hashtag Murder Trending series. I need the book 2 and book 3. This is about a world where there's this place called Alcatraz 2.0 where all the serial killers and all the people who committed heinous crimes get sent, and they have to do the time and fight to the death. Kind of like Hunger Games meets Death Race. And I was blown away with how good this was. 5 out of 5 stars. I just thought that this was going to be a fun kind of read. Did not expect the twists and turns that it took in like the set of twins. I'm still creeped out. I still have a little bit of nightmares because of this book. But really, 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 really highly recommend. I read quite a bit of thrillers and contemporary romances this month. I only read 2 fantasies. Summertime challenge number 8, Summertime Sunsets. Read a book with red, orange, and or yellow on the cover. I was originally going to read The Burning by Lauren Moore, which I still need to get to eventually because I owe her a review. I just wasn't in the mood for a fantasy. So I picked up a book that I got for my birthday, got for free. Went to a bookstore, bought a few books, and got enough stamps that we were able to get a free book, and this is the one that I got. And this is probably one of my most disappointing reads. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, but if I did 3.75, I would have given it a 3.75. And this is the only book by him that I've read that I haven't given 5 stars. Still need to read Home Before Dark, but that is Survive the Night by Riley Sager, which follows a girl whose best friend was brutally murdered, and she accepts a ride from a complete stranger, and then she starts to think that the stranger's the one who killed her best friend. Where do I begin? With this, the first half of the book felt like a completely different book than the second half. And I think that's where it let me down. It took a turn that I was like, okay, whatever. And then it had a movie-style wrap-up, which I didn't enjoy. I will still be keeping it because it goes with the rest of his books, but I don't know how often I will recommend this. But if you want a book set mainly in a car in the 90s, check it out. Just don't go in it thinking it's going to be the best thing ever. Challenge number 9 is Late Night Fireworks. Read a book that I'm excited about. And for this, I read one of my most anticipated reads of the year. And sadly, it's also the first book by her that I've given a 4-star. I've read quite a bit of her books, and I've given them all 5 stars. Still have 2 more of hers that I still need to read. And that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really enjoyed this book for the most part. This follows 4 siblings and a party where you know at the very beginning that a fire burns down at this party, and this is like a countdown to when that happens. And it does like flashbacks and stuff like that. And you follow characters that you've seen in some of her previous novels. like, one of her character, like, the dad in this is in Evelyn Hugo. But I will state, when we got to the party, is when it slowly went a little downhill, because you started introducing way too many characters that I didn't give two rats ass about, and then you're led to believe that there's this epic fire, but what causes it just was slight of a let down for me. But other than that, it's Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you want to read it, I highly recommend. If you love Taylor Jenkins Reid, the writing is phenomenal as always. She writes the most realistic characters. Had me on the edge of my seat, wanting to know what's going to happen. Just probably my least favorite of hers so far. Next was challenge number 10, Summer Fling. Keep it short and sweet and read a book 200 pages or less. And for this, I picked up the manga, I Think Our Son Is Gay, by Volume 1 by Okura. It's about a mother who thinks her son might be gay, which it's very animate that he is, but he just hasn't opened up about it. It's really cute. I gave this first volume 4 stars. Mangas are a little harder for me to give a 5-star for the first volume. I would definitely be checking out the rest of this series. It is super cute. Conversations in this are very hit home. The secrets, the embarrassment, all that hits home hardcore. And I highly recommend this to everybody. Challenge number 11 was to do a 24 and 48 hours. I was 3 hours shy from that 24 hours mark. But I did finish 3 books during that. I finished I Think Our Son Is Gay. Pretty sure I finished #murder trending. Yes. And then this next one. But challenge number 12 was End of the Summer, Beach Bonfire. Read one or both of the group books, or buddy read a book, which I've buddy read a book. And I read both the group books. We will start with Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. She was amazing to interview. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a full 5-star experience for me because it didn't invoke, like, wasn't bawling my eyes out like with the next one. This is one that I really recommend going in blind. But I will state, very Phantom of the Opera meets Moulin Rouge meets The Greatest Showman. Handsome Night Circus, from what I'm understanding from the vibe, but I haven't read Night Circus, which I kind of want to now. But I really enjoyed this. If you're a fan of Caraval, I would recommend this book. And I really want the sequel, and I cannot wait for the sequel. So, highly recommending, highly anticipating. And I'm hoping next payday I can order the Alcrate edition so I can have the matching pretties. But yes, highly recommend. But I also state, go into this blind. With both these group books, I highly recommend going into them blind, because I feel like you'll enjoy it more. Like, go in with low expectations. Go in with just, these might not be your type of reads, but check them out anyways. And the last one for summertime reads was Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. Anyone who knows me knows this is one of my all-time favorite books of all time. I went into a blind, interviewing Jeff with Julie from Pages and Pens. This is one of the most realistic books I've ever read, and I will highly recommend this to everybody, even if religion and books and trigger warnings and stuff like that normally aren't your thing. I highly recommend it, regardless. Go into it. Find out the trigger warnings, because there are some trigger warnings in here. And this book made me sob my little heart out every time I've read it. I've read this book 5 times, and I have cried every time. So, I highly recommend it. And the last 2 books that I picked up, because I still had 2 days left of the month, and I was like, I want to read something. I'll go to the one that I finished last night, because it was another manga, and I want to end on a high note here. But I picked up Carouselfona by Fling. A friend of mine told me I needed to read this. This was super cute. I'll just read the back, because to me that kind of explains a lot of it. I don't really know where the story is going, and I'm kind of intrigued. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars as well. Magic blessed the world with impossible power, but it was also cursed the world with Carouselfonas, humans whose souls are infected by demon spirits. 4 years after the prohibition of magic was established, a sorceress still lived hidden away, giving up her freedom in exchange for peace. But soon she will face the one who caused the prohibition, an assassin who seems to be a Carouselfona herself. There are a few characters in here that I absolutely loved, and I cannot wait to read volume 2 to see if I want to read volume 2 and see if it's something that I want to continue. I'm not the biggest fan of the art style. At times they looked like chibi Yu-Gi-Oh characters, but highly recommend. Super cute. Liked it. And last but not least, I picked up a classic. Children's classic, but I picked up a classic. Who am I? I haven't read a classic in God knows how long. But I picked up 101 Dalmatians by Dodie Smith. And I'm just going to say now, I'm pretty sure this may be my favorite. This might beat Wizard of Oz as my favorite children's classic. Yeah. I loved this. There are differences between the movies, yes, because in this there are 4 adult Dalmatians. In the movie there's only 2, and 97 puppies. But this was just, if you're a fan of 101 Dalmatians, I highly recommend you check out the book. I just recently found out it was a book to begin with, but loved it. Highly recommend. It's really short. I don't want to tell you more than that. I went in it knowing it was going to be written more aimed at children, so I knew what to expect. Pongo will forever be one of my favorite characters. Quilla DeVille is forever one of my favorite villains. I cannot wait to read the other 2 Quilla DeVille books we have. I wanted to read this, read them, and then I want to see the new Quilla DeVille movie. So I cannot wait to do that, because I loved this. I loved this. So those are the 14 books that I finished in July. Who am I? I finished 14 books. I haven't done that in God knows how long. And out of that, I have how many 5 stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 5 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4 stars, and 1 4.5 star. Blessing in disguise. This is like a good reading month. I hope you guys enjoyed Summertime Reads. I hope you guys joined us for all the live shows and the interviews, which are all up on all of our channels. Mel, Kaylani, and I love doing this, and we're super excited to see what's happening for fall, which should be coming up soon. But yeah, just thought I'd do a quick little wrap up this morning so I can finally put these chunkers on my shelf and empty my cart so I can pull up the books that I need to read this month. But comment down below if you've read any of these books and let me know. Did you read the group books? Did you enjoy the group books? Did you join us in the readathon? What is the best book you read for summertime reads? How many books did you complete? If you completed one, you completed the readathon. But this is the first time in a while that I've been able to actually read a book for every last challenge. And I am so proud of myself for that. So just a little pat on my back there for that one. But that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe down below. And until next time, guys, always remember to be fabulously yourself. Oh boy!